Okay, so here I just want to go over some of the parts. Here's the bow, and I'll kind of, show the pieces in detail. Here we have a spindle, a few spindles. This one that I'm showing here is made out of willow, and the other one is made out of bear grass. As you can see, it's been used. I have one end that goes into the socket, the other end is where it makes fire, and I have a little hole for oxygen. Just try to get a straight piece. Here I have a rock socket made out of soapstone. I like to use that best because it's just never wears and it works out beautifully. If you don't have it, you can always make it out of a really hard wood. Here we have a fireboard. It's been used with many holes. You can just keep using it until you can't use it anymore. This is a yucca board, so it's just kind of shave off both sides to make it flat and then start cutting the holes in it. So you got, that one's made out of saguaro. You got probably some bear grass. Here we have an Apache match. It's a, you can make tinder bundles, but I like to carry around an Apache match. This is a shaggy bark juniper wrapped up. I usually have finer material in the middle, and I just tie it up, and I'll show you how to use it a little bit later. So yeah, I just usually wrap it up in a cloth and carry it with me in my quiver. Here is my knife. I usually just carry this one around. Sheath made out from the century plant. Used some leather to make the handle there to hold it. And here's the knife. I like to have a pointy blade to be able to carve and dig things out. So there's all the pieces. Here we go. Got my quiver and just pulling out some of the things that I carry in it. Usually it's just the fire set, a digging stick, and my flute. There's all the pieces. Now here's how we start the fire. I'm going to show you pretty much the whole process. To start out, take your board and I'll just kind of dig out a tiny little hole just to get the spindle started. Just kind of, doesn't matter how pretty it is, just kind of dig a groove so that the spindle will stay in place. And then I usually will grab it and you twist it in there. And here you just put it in and just spin it as if you're gonna start a fire, but you're not yet. You're just kind of marking it. There we go. Now here I'm going to slowly start whittling a V shape to the center of the hole. It's sometimes can be a slow process, but once you have a hole, you can usually start a few fires off of it, and it's very quick to get a fire started. So you just need to take your time and slowly cut away. And I'm not speeding it up just so you can kind of see the whole process and maybe how long it might take. You know, the harder outside of this yucca board is usually a little bit harder, so it takes a little time to cut through. If you didn't have a knife, you can always use a sharp rock, obsidian, chip off some things and start grooving and cutting through. It's not as easy, but it works. Once you get going, it's a lot easier. You just kind of keep going in the groove and it'll kind of naturally just cut the V shape as you get deeper. Okay, almost got to the hole. Just gotta go a little bit more to get to the center of the hole. Just takes, like I said, a little bit of time to start out. You know, the thicker the board, more time it'll take, but you know, hopefully the hole will last a few holes and I won't have to, a few fires, so I won't have to start new holes. You should go a little faster once you get towards the center. There we go. Pretty much right there, about where we need it. Now, I like to under the board cut a little bit more space, kind of round it out, and that will allow for more punk to build up and oxygen to get to it, so your coal should start up a lot easier. Okay, so here I step on the board and I have a leaf underneath. You just need anything, can be a leaf or a rock, anything to catch the coal. And you just step on it. I usually put my arm resting against my shin so I can hold it more sturdy. And you just go really quick and it doesn't take long. I used my bear grass spindle with a yucca board. I also like to use bear grass on bear grass, works very well. So then you get your Apache match ready, or your tinder bundle. Right here I'll kind of show you a close-up of the coal. There you go, it's burning. And you usually have some time, you don't have to rush too fast. Just make sure you get it in there. See the coal's right there. Just place it anywhere in there and kind of pinch it up. You can start blowing away. I mean, I don't even have it that far in there, not even that pinched in there, but it'll still work pretty well. I like to carry this Apache match around just because you can just keep reusing it and reusing it. You don't have to search for new materials. Just keep blowing until it bursts into flames. Okay, so you put it down and you gather little twigs, and you always start out with small twigs, and you can just kind of pile them up on there until they can catch on fire. At times you may need to re-blow it just to kind of reignite it. Once the small twigs are starting to burn, you can kind of add a few more. So once you know it's all caught on fire, you can actually pull out the Apache match and put it out, and then you can save it for later, for future fires. Just kind of take it and dab it on the ground, make sure all the coals are out. And there you go, you have a fire. And then from here you just keep putting on little bigger sticks and bigger until your fire is full blown. So here I'll show you some different sizes. Usually we'll start out with, really tiny ones. Kind of move on up to the next size. It's always better to prepare this beforehand, that way it's all ready. If not, then you might be struggling or the fire might go out. Just always make sure you're prepared and have it all ready so you can keep building up to the next size. You don't want to start with a huge size that won't start. So that's how much it burnt through. And there's a little more flame.